Today we're going to take a look at KAOSS Replay firmware version 2.0, which offers several new performance effects, workflow enhancements, and all new features. Well, here's our first feature. You're now able to customize the wallpaper for the KAOSS Replay. Before we get into the workflow enhancements and the new features in the KAOSS Replay, let's check out some of the new effects. There's now 81 new performance effects. That's several new effects for every category of effect, including vocoders and vocal effects. Let's have a listen to some of the new effects in the KAOSS Replay. Not only is there more vocal and vocoder effects in the KAOSS Replay, but they've been adjusted to sound even better. Also, note input only uses the chromatic scale as opposed to the major scale across all vocal and vocoder effects, making it easy for you to put any sort of vocal effect in your music production.
Here's the vocoder major 7 patch, which we can adjust chromatically now in a minor 7.
Pitch correction and formant modulation.
And of course, there's a bunch of fun synthesizer effects. I only showed off some of the effects. There's a total of 209 now available. Now let's take a look at some of the workflow enhancements and new features. One of the workflow improvements is that you now have information displayed about the selected pad right on the KAOSS Replay without having to go into the trigger pad edit menu. You can see right here in this small box, it says E06120. That's the bank, the pad number, and the volume for the pad. And now I can select pads and adjust their volume directly without having to go into the trigger pad edit as well. If I move my cursor over, push down, I'm able to adjust the pad volume. Here's E06 at 116. I can gain it up or take the volume down. This makes it much faster to work on the KAOSS Replay. You can also make adjustments to the pads without changing the playback setting of a current pad by holding Shift and pressing down on a pad. This way you can change the gate setting or adjust the volume without changing the flow of the music. Another improvement to firmware 2.0 is a trigger threshold. Now you can mitigate unwanted pad pressing when you're finger drumming. Go into the global menu and change your trigger threshold here. Variable pitch has been adjusted as well. Now variable pitch will only target the pads that you have selected for variable pitch. Hold down variable pitch and select a pad. Variable pitch will adjust the tune of a sample relative to the BPM output. After you disable variable pitch, the sample will return to its original tune and align with the BPM output. Let's try it out. Turn on variable pitch. Let's bring this tempo down. As you can see, only that sample has been adjusted by the variable pitch. Now when I release variable pitch, the sample will return to its original tune and sync back up with our BPM output. Now when sync is enabled, any of the pads that are set to play at a loop or a song will match the BPM output. Definitely time stretching it quite a bit. Another improvement to the firmware is that if I want to quickly bring the BPM output to match the tempo of a sample's tempo, I can hold Auto BPM and press that sample. Another workflow improvement. Now when we press the trigger pad edit key, it will take us to the last pad that we used. Last pad we used was this one here. So I'll press the trigger pad edit, and it will bring me into that menu. One of my favorite new features is that we can now pre-assign pads to groups. This is very useful for doing things like DJ transition tricks. Hold down the group button and select pads you want to assign to a group. Quantize resolution and time signatures have been expanded. Go into your global menu to find this. Select Quantize resolution to see all the options we now have. Below that, our time signatures have now also been improved as well, giving us many more options for time signatures. If you want to quickly adjust your output BPM to your sample's target BPM, you can hold Auto BPM and select a sample. We're now able to reverse, change the pitch, or normalize our samples. Hold Shift and press Trigger Pad Edit to go into your utility menu. Select Copy, select a source. I want to reverse this sample. I want the destination to be a new pad. And the function I choose is reverse. Some other sampling workflow improvements you'll find in the global settings. Press Global to check this out. Under Sampling, you'll see you can now turn on or off whether a sample loops immediately after recording. Below that, you'll see we also have a metronome now included on the KAOSS Replay, and a sampling precount, which goes up to 4 bars. Your metronome and the sampling precount metronome can only be heard through the output bus, so you're going to want to use your headphones for this. 2 new sampling options have also been added to the KAOSS Replay. Select Sampling. We can now choose a loop length of 64 beats or 16 bars, and freebeat, which is a variable loop length recording. The KAOSS Replay now supports 4424 and 4824 WAV files, and you can also set in advance the gate, on and off values, and the play mode. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to learn more about KAOSS Replay Firmware Update 2.0, head over to Korg.com for the full release notes.